Welcome back to America Tonight. She's one of our favorite guests here on the show. You guys love her in the nooks and crannies out there in America. Dr. Frieda Birnbaum is in our virtual green room. She's a research psychologist and psychoanalyst, and she's the author of a great book, What Price Power, an in-depth study of the professional woman in a relationship. So Hillary Clinton announces her candidacy over the weekend. There's been tons of reaction to it. And one of the things that kind of has been lost in the conversation, not the first time around so much when she ran, but what would the impact be of a woman president? What would kind of an impact would that have on the United States? I think it's a great thing to talk about. So Dr. Birnbaum, thanks as always for coming on America Tonight. Were you, you're not surprised by Hillary Clinton's announcement, but were you surprised by the way she did it and jumped into the van, the Scooby-Doo van as she's calling it, and decided to take it down a notch and not do the big theatrics and the giant announcement with 10,000 people behind her?
Well, you know, she's trying very hard to change her image. The sad part about all this is that she does have, you know, this feministic view of what it's like to be running for the presidency in our country as a woman. And that view, that reaction has not changed since I wrote the book many, many years ago about what price power for women. And this is what's going on right now. She is being scrutinized for her character rather than her platform. And that is a dilemma right now for her, even though she has really the popularity vote. People know her. They know her accomplishments. They know what she's gone through. Yet she is being interviewed differently than her male counterparts are being interviewed. So here it is. We are at this stage in our lives, at this age, at this century, 2015, 2016, when we're going to be voting in a new president. And how are we looking at women today? What are the implications? Where is the change? So she really is trying to change her character, but then again, are we allowing her to change it? When she's being interviewed, the questions that are asked are very few questions about what is she trying to do that's going to be different. How is she going to change our economy, the way we posture ourselves with our foreign relations? She's a brilliant person. She has a very high IQ. She thinks very quickly, but she's not being presented in that manner. So I forgot your question, but that was my answer. I can talk forever. That's the problem.
No, I agree. This is fascinating. And like you said, you wrote a book about this. Why is it the United States behind compared to other countries? Because there have been a lot of other countries that have had female leaders, and I don't know that they've been scrutinized quite as badly.
That's a very insightful question. And the reality is that Hillary herself demonstrates herself to be more feminist. There are other women who are in politics who don't create that kind of reaction. And so because of that, she is inducing feelings of being aggressive as a woman. And what does that mean? Being aggressive is not a positive reflection of her behavior. Being assertive is, but the sad part about our society is when a woman is assertive, often, as Hillary happens to be, a lot more than a lot of other women in politics, they see it as a negative. So there are different implications of her behavior and the way we respond to Hillary herself. Not the candidate as a female, but the candidate who is Hillary.
So then let's just take this a step further. A woman president, what kind of an impact would that be in the United States to other girls, other women, that kind of thing?
Well, that's also a very important question because it would be an extremely positive impact. You know, my research has shown that when women are successful in careers, relationships shift. They have more decision making in the home, and their whole lifestyle changes more with equality as in regards to the same lifestyle as the men have. So things really shift drastically in every measure, and that's what will happen if Hillary or a woman will become president of the United States.
Yeah, and why is that? What was eye-popping about your research that jumped out at you?
What jumped out at me was that respect is gained when a woman who is independent makes it on her own in a high status field. And because of that independence, that means that she can have equal say in everything else in her life. It seemed to go hand in hand with relationships, in a marriage, with financial decisions, with friendships. She just is respected more across the board. And it's sad. It's a sad commentary in our lives as well, because motherhood is extremely important and a priority on a woman's list. But as far as self-esteem, self-respect, and empowerment, having high-status careers is what really does that. Women who don't have these opportunities, because not all women do,
right,
they often tend to manipulate more because that's the only thing they have. They don't have a comfort level that other women who are accomplished have.
Wow, that really tells you something, doesn't it?
Yes.
How do you turn that around?
I'm telling you, that's why I'm more comfortable with women who are comfortable with themselves.
Right.
Because they're easier to have around. Because they're fulfilling their own needs. They don't have to prove anything.
Yeah. And so when you have to prove something,
yeah.
When you have to prove something, there's that chance of the gossip or tearing the other woman down.
Of
Remember,
course.
that used to be the saying that why do women not help each other? And I guess certainly you've revealed that reason.
That's exactly
that might be
why.
what it is.
Yeah, for sure. And so
Wow.
they're harder to be around.
Yeah. When men and women have balanced roles, when they're respected and valued and all that kind of stuff across the board, what do you think that means for the nation?
When they have balanced roles, with my research, this is what happens as far as the way we look at each other in general, that we don't look at women as subservient anymore. And the men who have these kind of relationships with women and equality outside the home bring those relationships inside the home to their wives, to their partners, and they are also treated in the same manner. And professional men, men who are involved with women with high status careers, make better husbands as well, better than businessmen who often have women as personal assistants or secretaries, and who are used to dominating women in their roles.
Wow, that's fascinating stuff. What do you think? You're there in New York. What's the reaction overall? I mean, you said it a lot in the beginning with Hillary Clinton, but just based on what you're seeing from her, I mean, kind of put politics aside, in the polls she's still ahead. She's ahead of some of the Republican men for sure. Do you think she wins this thing?
There's a good possibility. We don't even know of anybody else. The only person we really know about is Hillary. She has experience. She has a history. We don't have anyone to compare her to, even though she has a reputation of being arrogant, of somebody who's too pompous, too full of herself, the way she speaks. Even though all this negativity surrounds her, and we don't talk about her platform, which really is something that we will find out about eventually, she is the one that we all know about and we're all comfortable about. I think this country no longer wants to try someone who's not experienced. They're not looking for a new cause. They're looking for someone who is traditional, who has proved themselves and can give them what they know they will be getting from that person. They want somebody that's more solid this time around.
All right, I like it. Dr. Frieda Birnbaum, interesting stuff. The book, it's great, it's perfect. What Price Power, an in-depth study of the professional woman in a relationship. Pick it up, Amazon.com. Thanks, Dr. Birnbaum.
My pleasure, always.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.